we're seeing new violence in Egypt, a crucial U.S. partner. Thousands of Egyptians went back to Cairo's Tahrir Square today to protest their new government. Witnesses say some demonstrators threw stones at the cops who fired back with tear gas. Officials say violence across the country killed at least 4 people and injured close to 400. Of course, Egypt is a very important partner of the United States. In fact, we just sent them 4 new F-16 fighter jets like these, part of an aid package worth about $1 billion a year. The Fox Sports chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt is here. And Jonathan, in many ways, Egypt doesn't seem any more stable now than it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it's hard to argue against that, Shep, when you see the tens of thousands on the streets of Egypt's major cities today protesting the government of Muslim Brotherhood President Mohamed Morsi. The protesters say that Morsi has done nothing to fix the mess of the Egyptian economy, and he's also rewritten the constitution in an outright power grab. To them, the protesters, nothing has changed in the past 2 years except swapping a secular dictatorship for a religious one. Former State Department Undersecretary Nicholas Burns says this is a situation the U.S. has to watch very carefully. Listen.
Not only is there this divide between the new government dominated by the Muslim Brotherhood and the old regime of President Mubarak, and many of his officials are still in place, but the Islamic forces are also in disarray, and there are challenges to President Mohamed Morsi from his right, even more radical factions of the Islamic movement. And so there's cause for concern about continued instability, the lack of economic growth in Egypt.
Now, on the plus side, Professor Burns says the U.S. still has a strong relationship with Egypt, and its government has stood by its peace treaty, crucially with Israel. Skeptics would add to that thought for now.
Across the region, really, concerns about the effects of the Arab Spring.
Yeah, pretty much every country that has gone through these uprisings is a case of uncertainty at best, outright chaos at worst. And aside from the civil war in Syria, the main concern right now is North Africa, Libya, of course, Algeria, where we had the recent hostage-taking and deaths of Americans, Mali, where the French are fighting Islamic extremists. And again, according to Professor Burns, this sort of instability could go on for a very long time. Listen.
We're looking at generational change. And it may be that we don't see the future map of the Middle East. It doesn't reveal itself for another 10 or 20 years because this change is so deeply rooted.
So chaos possibly for many years to come. The one thing we know for sure is that terrorists and extremists love chaos.
Yeah, that's true. Jonathan, thank you.